This video is an introduction to Zotero, which is a free open source browser-based reference manager application that collects, manages, and helps cite your research sources and save them to the cloud. Like other citation managers like EndNote, RefWorks, BibWorks, Zotero allows you to attach PDFs, add notes to your citations, organize them into collections for different projects, and create bibliographies in word processing systems like MS Word or Google Docs. To download Zotero, you're going to go to the main website, which is www.zotero.org. That's Zotero.org. You'll click the red download button, and you have to install two things. You have to install the actual application that goes on your desktop, and then you have to install a browser connector. So you can see other platforms that it is built for, and I happen to be in Firefox, but you can be in these other browsers and install that connector. And while you're there, you'll also want to register for an account, which will be in the upper right. And when you register for that account, that will give you the ability to sync to the cloud and to set up group libraries. And you do not have to use your Emory email. You can use Gmail or whatever it is that you would like to use. So this is the Zotero application. And in this application, there are folders that you set up. And within the center area, this is where you can see the content of the folders, and the far right panel is the metadata that is available in from the articles that you download. And so that's going to be your page numbers, volume, issue, that sort of thing. And so in this center area is where you can change the way you see it. You can right-click on these titles and change what you see, and then you can also move them, just drag and drop to get them moved around. So I'm going to click on my demo folder, which is currently empty, and then I'm going to download some citations, and I'm going to go to the Emory Library website first to get to a database. So I'm going to go to libraries.emory.edu. I'm going to click the Databases tab. I'm going to enter Academic Search Complete, which takes us to the database page. And so now I'm in Academic Search Complete. And I'm going to do a search. And up here in the toolbar, this is my Zotero icon. So when I want to download citations, I'm going to find that icon and I'm going to click it. And it's showing me all of the citations that are available on this page. So I can click a couple, I can select all, whatever. I'll just click a few and I'm going to say OK. And now it's saving it into the demo folder that I previously selected. I can change it if I need to on the fly. And you can also see that it's downloading the full text PDF. There are some databases that don't have this auto detection. So if that happens, you will have to export the citations and then import them into Zotero. So here's my demo folder, and these are the citations that I just downloaded. You can see the date that they were added, which is today. You can see that they have a PDF attached, and we can use this little arrow to turn it and show that PDF. And I will now go to a Word document, and when we downloaded the actual application to the desktop, it also installed in the toolbar of Word, and it will do the same thing in Google Docs. So I click on that toolbar, I put my cursor where I want an in-text citation to go, and then I click this Add Citation button. And it pops up this little command bar. And from here, you can enter a citation two different ways. If you know something about the citation, you can start typing, and it will bring up anything that has that. It could be an author name, could be the journal, or a title of an article. You click it, and then hit the Enter key on your keyboard. So it's input this citation. I'm going to put a little space there in front. And so you can see it's grayed out, meaning it's computer language. And then I'm going to add a second citation here. Same thing, I'm going to click this, bring up my command bar, but this time I'm going to click the Z, and I'm going to go to this classic view. And so that brings up everything in my Zotero library. And I can hop between these different folders if I want, and I can grab the citation here. And I say enter, and it's put it right there. Then I come down below where it says references and add my bibliography. So it's automatically input the bibliography, and it's basing this off of the in-text citations up here. But I'm not sure what style this is. So I'm going to go under Document Preferences. And so this is actually Chicago style. And I'm going to change it to APA 7 and say OK. So now it has rejiggered itself into APA style. So that's one way to get citations into a document. Another way is to bring up the Zotero application, and you can just drag and drop a citation. And so I'd put it right in there. Another way is to highlight a group of citations and then right click on them and say create bibliography from items. And so here it is telling me a style, and it's saying it's going to copy to the clipboard, which is what I want. So I say okay. I come back here and I'm going to paste from my clipboard. And there are those citations in APA style. The drag and drop one that I did is based off of a preset citation style that's in the preferences in the Zotero application, and you change that, and I can show you where later. The most important thing to know about these citations is that they're not necessarily perfect. You need to eyeball them. You need to make sure that they look as similar to the citation style as possible. It is just a computer program, and it's reading off of citations that have been entered by people and computers. So there's a lot of room for error there. So you need to know enough about the style that you're trying to use to be able to make some corrections. So that is the basics of how Zotero works. So now I'm going to go into some more detail. Everything that you download goes into this master My Library folder. And so that's a backup place for everything. You can rearrange, as I said, things on this center area, and you can sort by clicking these column titles and move them around however you want. It's ideal to have a folder clicked off here in the app before you start downloading from a website. But if you don't do that, you can always grab the item that got downloaded and move it. Just drag and drop. And so now it's in this folder as well. Again, I'm going to do that, drag and drop, and here it is. To create a new folder, these are called collections, and there's this little icon of a folder, and you just click that. And so I'm going to name it Demo 2, and you can put these in as subs. So I've moved it as a subfolder of my initial folder. While you're in Zotero, you can get into the citations. For instance, if there's something that's incorrect, you can correct it over here. And you can also get a lot of information about the citation. So again, that's the metadata that's going to go into your actual bibliography. You can add notes to any record and tags to any record. And you can search for those right here. So when Zotero sees a PDF on a page, it is going to download that PDF. And so you can see those here. And if I open this and I double click the PDF, it's opening it right here in the same Zotero app. So we can do a couple things here. We can do some highlighting. And we can also make some notes by clicking the little post-it note. Sorry, little post-it note. And so then you have a little comment there. And over here on the left, we can see this is what I want to do there. And here I've highlighted something. So you can add things for other authors of your paper, or you can leave yourself notes and highlight things as you would with Adobe. And if you prefer to do it not through Zotero, that's just something you change in the preferences and it will open in whatever app you tell it to. So under Edit are the preferences. And so this is where you go to set up how you want things to be viewed. For instance, I've asked it to automatically get all the information for PDFs. So under General, you would pretty much leave this as is unless you see something that you want to change. Under Sync, this is where when you register on the Zotero website, you're also going to bring that username and password here and fill it in under the sync button. And so that helps the desktop sync to the web version so that it is all backed up and you can access it anywhere. So the citations you're downloading are going to your hard drive. And if your computer crashes, then that stuff will not be saved. So you want to sync it. Under search, I never change anything here. Under export, this is where you would change that quick copy, where if you drag something directly from Zotero into a Word document, it will be set in this style. So that's where you would change that. Under Cite, this is where you can find the styles that you have loaded in Zotero, and you can also get to the additional styles that are on the website from here. And there's thousands of different styles that are available. And so you just go to the website, find the style, click it, and it gets automatically added here. Under the Advanced tab, this is where you can put what's called a open URL or a proxy resolver. And this URL is one that will help you find the PDFs for items that the library subscribes to. And to get that PDF, you're going to go to the Library Research Guide for Zotero. And I will get to that in a minute. So I've talked about different ways you can add PDFs. You can also add them if you have something stored on your desktop. You can add a stored copy of the file by right-clicking. So I've added attachment, and that brings it from your file and puts it here into Zotero. You can also have the Zotero app look for the PDF. So find available PDF. And this is based on that proxy resolver. So it's going to search for it. No PDF found. That's okay. So I'm going to close this, and now I'm going to use the library lookup, which is over here under this little arrow. So this is taking our subscriptions and using the information from that citation to look through the Emory subscriptions and see if there's a different way to get to the article. And so it's telling us that we can get to it from here. So I would follow that link, go to the PDF, and either download the citation a second time and pull the PDF with it from there, or save the PDF to my desktop and then add attachment. And another way you can add PDFs is just by dragging and dropping. So here I've got a folder with some PDFs, and I'm going to grab one and bring it up here, and I'm going to copy it into into Zotero. So here is that PDF, and it also went out and retrieved the metadata automatically. So that dragging and dropping will kind of kill two birds with one stone. Other ways to get citations into your libraries include you can add an item by an identifier. So you can put in a DOI, a PubMed identification number, ISBN, anything like that. So I'm going to put in an PubMed identification number. And so it's retrieved that citation. And now it's hunting for the PDF, I think. And if it's available, yep, now the PDF is here. So that was searching with just the identifier number. You can also add a manual record by clicking this button. It says new record. There's some kind of canned ones there, but you can also go under more. And so it will create a record, a blank record. And the metadata fields that it's asking you to fill out relate to what you have chosen for the format. So if I want it to be an artwork, you can see it changes what kind of information you're going to be recording there. If you want to set up group libraries, you can do that from inside the Zotero app, or you can do it directly online. From inside, right here, I click and I say new group, and it's taken me to Zotero, and the group tab is right here. So to create a new group, you just click create new group, and choose a name, what kind of membership you want, and then you create the group, and then you're going to invite people to the group. And those people will need to have registered for a Zotero account, and you'll need the email that they registered with so that you can send them that invitation. And then once you've created that, your group libraries show here on the left side of your Zotero libraries. And so everybody who is a member of that group has access to that folder and can leave notes, annotate PDFs, that sort of thing. So to get to the proxy resolver link, you would once again go to the Emory Library website, click this research guides tab and then enter Zotero Preferences. Preferences. No, gonna try again. Yeah. Set preferences, and under retrieve PDFs, this is where you find that link. So you're literally going to copy this and then open your Zotero application, go to the preferences, and under that advanced tab, you're going to paste it right here in this resolver spot. And then you just say OK, and then it can look for and retrieve those PDFs. So this website, the research guide for Zotero from the Emory libraries, tells you all the information about how to set up your account, how to organize the library. There's additional tutorials and support. And of course, Zotero.org has all sorts of documentation that you can find right there on that website. And if you need more, the libraries host classes in person, and that link is here on the Zotero guide as well. You can get to our classes that we have, and let us know if you need any help by contacting the libraries.